R.D. Wilson. I know we discussed the bleachers, we want to do the bleachers for the 3 buildings. And then the flooring down at R.D. was still up for discussion.
Right.
After our meeting, hopefully last week, there was some more clarification and clarity as to what direction you guys want to go in. So, the recommendation is tile with some area rugs or throw rugs for the smaller, lower grade levels. So,
I know everybody is saying tile, 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 but in my opinion, I know the new school evergreen, but their air temperature is different. They have carpet in all rooms. And it's the squares, and if there's a problem, they remove it. And the reason why the area rug is tough, I would love to see the cost, number one. Is it cheaper with the carpet? Is it more expensive? Whatever. Because even like today I was in, and the kids are everywhere, and you're on the floor sitting over here, and there's kids here, so, the area rug, is it always gonna get cleaned by our maintenance? First year, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Second year, third, is it? I don't know. But I would really love to see carpet in the rooms. I'm fine with the hallway and that, but that's just how I see, I don't know. One second, Bill, I'm sorry, don't worry. But what I'd like to see too is, if we have that extra money, can we upgrade a little bit in those classrooms? You know how Evergreen has the cubbies. They have hangers. I mean, to me, right away, I'm thinking head lice. That just, you know what I mean? Like, I see every kid's little coats hung upside down. I'm like, why can't we just maybe take the extra, maybe upgrade a little in some of those small areas? I don't know, that's my idea.
I was just going to say,
I don't know.
the carpet has been in Robert Wilson since 1982, and we've survived. And what happened here in the last?
And I think that's a good question. The temperature all of a sudden has been the problem, I'm thinking, is that correct?
well, there was a combination of factors
Right.
that we believe played into that scenario down there. But it was temperature regulation, it was the timing of getting the carpets in that section clean, and then what was already in the carpets for years and years.
And I'm just also curious too on Evergreen's cleaning schedule, because, Joe was saying how we have to take everything out of the room. I don't know if that's always true. How do they do it in Evergreen, and what is their schedule, and what's their maintenance on the carpet?
Can you add to that?
Well, I didn't do the cleanup in Evergreen yet, but what we did in middle school many moons ago, we used to take everything out but except really big stuff in the corners and stuff, shampooed. But middle school, they have the Ryder shampooer, and that's fantastic. You get the big area.
Is that like the
and
Zamboni?
Zamboni, that is fantastic. If you've seen how much I get out of a carpet with a little hand, 17-inch hand, compared to that, there's no comparison. That water is chocolate brown when you're done with the Ryder. So that's the cleanliness that you want. That's
Right.
what you should get.
Right.
So you're potentially saying the type of cleaning equipment used seems to make a difference?
Absolutely. And the training of the staff. I mean, if a person uses it all the time, that one person should use it, but there should be that backup person that knows how to
I think
operate.
you used to do them twice a year, like at Christmas, sometimes you would do them.
We used to
Christmas
do
break,
the
and then in
hallways
summer,
and
of
stuff,
course.
yeah, touch up, yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the Ryder back when I
Yeah.
was with you.
Right.
Yeah, back in the 90s.
I spent some time at RD with the teachers and some take that.
Well, I was just gonna say, what are the people that work there?
There are some emails, 9 emails from different teachers who did respond to Erica Boots. And so we talked to them about this, and they're all like really devastated that we want to tile in there, the whole school actually. But furthermore, after getting around with Warren and hearing some other stories, I think we have a problem. I think we have a problem. Why all of a sudden are we have moisture problems? And it's not coming from the building itself, because these problems weren't that evident. I think we should spend a little bit more time figuring out what's wrong, before we start spending $500,000 to try to cover up what's wrong.
I spoke to Mrs. Miller in the last several weeks also, stopped in one day and asked her, she said there were some, I guess, potentially anomalous readings on humidity and things after the problem seemed to be resolved, but then it went back to where they were within acceptable ranges. The feeling, I think, was that now that we've turned to winter, there's not going to be a good way to read humidity levels and be accurate because the air is drier. So I think we need to make sure that CM3 and NRG and whoever else has helped with that system are on board to make sure to monitor things as we head into next spring and summer and make sure we don't actually have some kind of another bigger issue going.
I just think we need to step back and spend a whole bunch of money till we find out what the problem is. I mean, are something not adequate with what's in there for the air conditioners, or
We're not functioning quite properly.
not functioning quite properly, you know?
And that was, I think that was her feeling, Mrs. Miller's feeling that maybe we still have something that's not, but it was late enough in the season that there isn't
Right,
there wasn't a good way to gauge
so
that.
I don't see why we should, at this point, should we say, okay, let's spend $500,000 to change put a lot of tile or elastic carpet. It's like just step back and take one step at a time.
And I know
The
CM3
teachers, if you read these emails, the teachers are perfectly happy what's there now.
I know CM3 has tried to do a good, tried to stand behind their work, obviously, and they've been working at it, and I'm sure they're continuing to do that, so it's not, it's just a matter of making sure that we've got it set up properly, if there needs to be any changes or modifications, it seems.
Ryan,
Um,
can I ask you a question?
Please.
If we were to go the route of tile, would we need new equipment to service that, the tile surface?
You have equipment to do the tile surface now because you do have regular non-carpeted floors in the building. You have some regular tile floors in the building as well. And if I were to offer an opinion for what it's worth, I would do nothing and invest in better carpet cleaning equipment. And when it's time, when you pull the trigger on replacement, have this discussion again. The genesis for flooring replacement at Wilson was not the event this summer. It was the fact that it was on the docket of original equipment that had never been replaced. In this case, it was flooring. It was flooring from 1980, and it's carpet. If it was tile from 1980, you wouldn't be talking about replacing the tile unless it was aesthetic or there was some major cracking. But it was original carpet from 1980. We talked about it in the first phase. It was eliminated for cost reasons. And then we had the situation this summer, which was the anomaly, if it was the last 6 classrooms that weren't cleaned, combined with a very cold, wet summer. So cold that the air conditioning wasn't going to trip on. So as far as replacing flooring in response to what happened this summer, I think the only way you could compare the two would be to say, if we had gone with tile, we probably wouldn't have had any remediation this summer, was the point. So if you do replace the floors, consider all the factors in terms of what material you use to replace it, notwithstanding teachers' input, educational requirements, and anything else. But I can tell you from my time spent here, if you don't do something as far as replacing the flooring now, and you wait to do that, and you leave the carpet that's there, make the investment in the carpet cleaning equipment and make a more rigorous schedule to get those cleaned. Because like I said, it was the same unit, same system, all across the entire classroom, second and first floor. And so do we think we're going to have a problem again this summer? No. But if it comes to what material to use when you decide to replace the old carpets, you've got good arguments going in both directions. Whether it's microbial carpet squares or VCT tile.
Ryan,
And cost is about the same.
what was the cost on the carpet? I don't remember offhand. Was it 3 something?
It's just over
It was 4 something.
The delta in installed cost was, it's all a factor, so I don't want to downplay anything, but it wasn't a significant price difference between carpet and VCT tile
Okay.
to use that as a reason to go with one versus the other. I want to say they were within 10% of each other, but I'll double check that.
Well, no, I think the carpet needs replaced,
Most of it.
but, right, most of
All
it,
at
maybe
once.
not all of it, we're right, but, I just would like to see carpet.
And plus, you know what, we're gonna spend the money to hire a guy to lay this stuff out for us. Let's give him a chance to lay some of the stuff out, you know, I mean, if we go ahead and replace everything now, then
He's not gonna have a job.
then he's not gonna have a job. Seriously, you know, I mean,
From a time factor, Ryan, in terms of the decision being made, where do we stand with realistic installation happening over the summer months? And ordering carpet versus tile, is that going to be an issue?
It depends on the contractor or the subcontractor selected. I would say with where construction schedules are, to have a contractor that could do a job of this size, you probably would want to place the order before the end of January to make sure that the spot is reserved for the amount of time that's going to take this summer. It's not a material lead time issue for the flooring as much as it is for the contractor that wins the job has to have enough people to perform the work and have a good chunk of their summer completely blocked out for that task only. And the sooner the better in terms of securing that spot. I would not want to deal with the installation of that being a last minute procurement. It'll push back toward the end of the summer timetable, and it'll be sort of a disappointment by design. And we ran into a little bit of that trouble with the auditorium being scheduled to start so close to the beginning of school this past summer, that everything that followed that just made it a difficult working environment. You know, we're racing to get stuff done with assemblies, teachers come in early, contractors don't really have that schedule. They look at when's the first day of school and think that they're gonna have exclusive access to a building right up until the first day of school, and the reality of it is they need to be done about 2 to 3 weeks before the end of school, so that you don't disrupt what your teachers and everybody else is doing.
How many rooms there's new carpet in kindergarten, correct?
10
I know
rooms.
Lori Zeiler's room, I had a student teacher there.
Yep, 10 rooms.
She has squares, 10 rooms downstairs,
Total,
that's
yeah, first floor.
the kindergarten and whatever's across.
Yep, pre-K and around the corner, a couple of rooms. First grade, 10 rooms.
If I could just throw my 2 cents in, it sounds like a time constraint. My recommendation, throw it out if you want, is to get the writers Zamboni's shampooer and try that out. And then that way you guys can have more time to plan out for even next year. Because I guarantee you, if you get 8 or 10 dehumidifiers and that writer's Zamboni, the shampooer, you're gonna do a lot of good right there. And you're gonna say, oh, we saved quite a bit of chunk of change by not have to do the whole thing. You could do small chunks of it if you want.
but so Zamboni would be needed if we went with carpet anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, of course.
And, you know, I look at it, if we go with tile in that school, I think we risk eliminating the whole school against the board. We've got a whole entire school.
Can I just say something real quick about that? Isn't it, the tile would be really hard, or for the safety of the students, falling, is that what you're hearing? Whatever they're worried about?
They
I
throw
think it was more of a comfort issue.
multitude of issues at us, you know? Just by the time you hear something, something comes something new, everything from noise to comfort, to people, kids being on the floor, where if you have an area rug, where we have someone in that corner over there, you have someone in this corner, so next thing you know,
And it's
you can have
true.
carpeting over top of tile.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
They already have area, or
It doesn't-
kindergarten has an extra rug that.
And they're pretty adamant about not wanting tile.
I heard that when I was at our meet and greet. The people that were there, that's one of the things that I was
Yeah.
hearing, was don't put tile in here. I'm thinking, geez.
Who are we? I don't work there.
Did you have a question?
Who am I saying?
I was going
You
to
want
say,
carpet? You want carpet.
My daughter
Well, we
is
also
over on the
look
other
out
side
for
of the state.
Safety and welfare, of all the students.
They have
and
just
if there's-
ripped out
if the tile is a.
every scrap of carpet at the request of the entire staff
Yeah,
and
no
the
problem.
people that live there, because they don't want urine and vomit
Right, right.
Yeah,
on the floors.
and I gotta say, and, you know, teachers and administrators and really anybody, or even board members, doesn't change the fact that one surface is considerably cleaner than the other. It can be cleaned properly, and that is an issue. It's not an issue that we're bringing up. We're not getting, you know, complaints about kids getting sick or getting sick more often or whatever else. But if you go flooring surface tile versus flooring surface carpet, tile is cleaner, stays cleaner, and they're not, and last a lot longer. So there's not a whole lot of comparison there, but it doesn't change the fact that you got to live with the decision as a district and as a school, and with and so many different customers end up using it that's gonna factor into it. But
In my industry, you do not put porous surfaces on a floor where urine, feces, and vomit live. We have single removable rugs out front. They are cleaned many times during the day because my patients aren't very discriminatory. When they're ill, it comes out. And my understanding of small humans is they share the same beliefs. When they're ill, it comes out, and then your carpet is soiled, and you have to figure out what you're going to do for the rest of the day because it may be not only vomit, it may be contagious.
With the 10 rooms that have new carpet, there are these replaceable pieces right now, so
But
those
you
sections
pull
could
them
be
up
replaced.
as someone vomits, you pull
Pardon
out a
me?
piece as someone vomits onto the carpet.
Well, I
you
don't know
pull
what the
out a
protocol would be, but they are replaceable. In other words, it's not just
Or you have to
cleaning
pull
the
it.
carpet as is,
Machine.
right?
We have a handheld machine in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just really good.
So we don't use porous surfaces, we have sheet vinyl type of surfaces, so, because of disease.
I got a question, Ryan. The carpet replacement, would that even be out in the foyers, the hallways? Isn't that all carpet now?
Yes.
yes, there's still some recommendation. You could very easily do carpeted classrooms and tiled hallways. The argument against tile hallways when this was brought up the last time was primarily noise. In terms of when kids are walking around, it's that much noisier between sneakers squeaking and whatever else. And I guess maybe slipping a little bit for wintertime, that kind of stuff. But you could do, we had a proposal, we have a proposal, and it's relatively easy to present it for a like-for-like replacement in terms of flooring. The only flooring that definitely is agreed that does not need to be addressed is the cafeteria and the gym. That was done after the school was built, and I forget what the material is. I knew it at one point, but it's pretty long-lasting and it's in very good shape.
Yeah, it was poured in, it was,
Like poured rubber or something, yeah. Yeah, so, but basically everything else, even some of the tiled sections, you can probably eliminate the, I mean, maybe maintenance, cafeteria, whatever else, but for the most part, whether it was carpet or tile, it was the only exclusion that I'm aware of was the gym and the cafeteria.
I was just thinking, because those areas are so high traffic, you know, and I mean, while the carpet has held up well, you know, if a compromise, if you would, could be met, where we could replace all the common area with tile, classrooms keep them as carpet.
And I gotta say, and I've said this through a couple different walkthroughs or whatever else, whether you do it through the existing project and the existing vehicle, so to speak, for procurement with our company, or whether you do it on your own, be it piecemeal or all at once down the road, this is a measure you can do that on. There are some that you know, there's a lot of coordination, a lot of moving parts, whatever, but this is in your wheelhouse, and I think if you want to take your time on it, you can. So I definitely don't want to sound like it must be done and it must be done this summer. My point is, if you're gonna do it, and you're gonna do it now, then if you're gonna place the order in the next 12 months, do it relatively quickly and have those conversations so that you don't hurt yourself when it comes to the summer schedule, is my main point with all of it.
So are we at the point where we're gonna hold off, or we're gonna do carpet and tile, what's the?
Looking,
So, yeah, it
looking
sounds
into
like
cleaning
getting on
equipment
it.
as well, or no?
Yeah, it sounds good. Adam, how much would that machine, do you have any idea what?
14 or 15,000.
Get two, they're cheap.
And then-
Well,
and then
Evergreen does need one.
Is the weight of that, is the elevator?
It fits right in
RV
the
able
elevator
to
in the
carry
school.
that weight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one, we just bought, last summer, we bought the one for the tile in the middle school, because we replaced all the hallways, and I think that was about 17,000. That was for tile.
Don't they have an attachment for that new John Deere?
Yeah, there you go.
You can look at that. Put that right in.
And the only other thing would be the bleachers,
Bleachers.
so.
We will agree on the bleachers.
And I'm up to on those too. I'm on the high school ones all the time during basketball and this and that, and over in wrestling and the other schools. You know, maybe they're not top quality, but spend $500,000 changing bleachers just to change the bleachers.
Well, the concern there was the safety audits that we received.
Yeah, but you know, guess what, you order new ones, and by the time you put them in, there'll be safety audits on those too. So that's just my line.
Definitely, well, the ones that are D are definitely.
They have wheels on the bottom, the bushings are going on, it can be changed mostly. I call on my belt underneath and look at it. So, this is my thing. Again, we're hiring this guy to lead us on the road, let's give him a chance to lead.
The only issue would be if you don't replace it, there'd be a large claim, and you'd have a large lawsuit to deal with.
We got large lawyers.
Everything comes at a cost.
The Artie Wilson ones, I will say they're worse than, you wanna change those, and I have no problem with those, but the high school.
What's the total cost on both bleachers? You know, off the top of your head, one? For both sets of bleachers?
Do you have that, Ryan, again?
I do.
Age of those two, they're RD, I'm sure is original to the building, but what's the reason, do we have an idea what the useful life expectancy of, something like that is?
Seriously? You know that?
No, the building has been open for 34 years.
I thought you that
Yeah,
was the
you-
life
you-
expectancy, I'm like, how do you
You
know
passed on
that?
both, I mean, I don't,
Yeah, 34 years.
we've addressed a lot of stuff where, you know, it's like every system that gets for a while, this is past its life expectancy and falling apart, past its life expectancy and falling apart. Bleachers are past its life expectancy and falling apart. You're not avoiding a capital item here. You're timing when you want to procure it. But high school, middle school, and Wilson. High school was $259, middle school was $211, and Wilson was $80,876.